We're going to go down through the NFC West division, go through each team, and we're going to start with the Arizona Cardinals, right?
Yep.
We always start with the who we think may finish the bottom of the division. Jeff, you disagree with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was a little different on the division.
Okay. All right. Um, well, Zach and I agreed, so we're going to start with the Cardinals. Um, okay, I am not real impressed here with Cliff Kingsbury, head coach. Look, this guy had he doesn't have any winning seasons. He just came out of college. I mean, he's had 2 winning seasons at Texas Tech out of 6. Last year they went 5-10. The Cardinals went 5-10. I don't even know how this guy got a job, to be honest. He went to 3 bowl games at Texas Tech, only won one of them, the first one, ironically, when he was there. And that's the Barry Switzer effect. A lot, your first year in, you inherit a lot from the coach behind you, or the coach that was ahead of you. His total coaching record is 40-50, which is terrible. I don't even know. So, to I guess they call it. I guess he's the quarterback whisperer, right? So he's at Case Keenum. We all know who Case Keenum is. And Case Keenum's now is he in Cleveland?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I think he's the backup in Cleveland. But we know what he did, in Minnesota. He showed some talent, blah, blah, blah. And we talked about it. You hear his name on ESPN, and he's made some type of a name for himself. So he played under Kingsbury in 2008, 2011 in University of Houston. Johnny Manziel played under Kingsbury in 2012 with Texas A&M. Baker Mayfield, which is ironic that Case and Baker are both in Cleveland. Not that it means anything worth anything. David Webb, who is the backup for the Buffalo Bills. And Patrick Mahomes, who needs no introduction, played for him at Texas Tech. So I don't know.
Well, it's a new craze. Get a young, energetic head coach and try to see what can happen. I don't think he's gonna do very well, but it's like Sean McVay. He came in, he was young, energetic, fired up the team, took them to the Super Bowl, but now they're heading the opposite direction.
Yeah, quite possibly, which we're going to get into that. I don't know, Jeff. What do you think?
I'm not really I'm not a big fan of Cliff Kingsbury. I'm same line of thinking as you. I don't know how he even got the job. I know they brought in him and Kyler together to run that offense, but it's the college systems over time have been proven that they just don't work in the NFL. You might have a little success with it like they did at the end of last season, but in the NFL, these defensive coaches are just so good at dissecting. If Kingsbury can't figure out new things to do and can adapt and add some more pro style offense, then over time they're just going to lose more and more games, no matter how much talent they
Yeah, yeah, and that's even given this a lot more credit than it's due, because he hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything in college. I mean, he had 2 out of 6 winning seasons. The only thing he's done is develop quarterbacks. So I don't know. Maybe they bring him in. Can I plant a seed of conspiracy here? They bring him in to develop Kyler Murray and let him get him up to speed, and then fire him after a couple of years and bring in another coach. I don't know. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
That's a good conspiracy theory. They do have a stacked offensive team. The only thing is their O line sucks, which I know. I was reading Jeff's notes, so I got to give him credit on that. But they have a stacked offensive team, so maybe they do have Kingsbury develop Murray and then switch to somebody more traditional and take it from there.
Yeah, I agree. Especially bringing in DeAndre Hopkins, that was huge because Christian Kirk, he's a guy that I drafted pretty high in fantasy last year. I think he's got a lot of talent. They have another guy they drafted last year and Andy Isabella. He's an up and coming guy. So you have all these guys that help Larry Fitzgerald. And Kenyon Drake was kind of reborn there. So the offense is kind of stacked. The offensive line is going to be an issue, which I think could be an issue for Kyler. I'm not a huge Kyler fan either. I think, he's pretty good, but that offensive line, if he starts taking a bunch of hits, and he gets, maybe he does a Drew Brees and gets a hurt shoulder, but if he can't come back from it the same way, so there's some injury troubles that I have with him because he's just so small. But their defense was actually pretty good last year. They didn't really bring anybody in, but they didn't really lose anybody either. They did draft Isaiah Simmons, and I think that's going to be a big deal. He's going to be a stud for at least 10 years. So I have faith in their defense, but I don't know about their offense.
Well, yeah, they also brought in 2 more defensive linemen and a linebacker in the draft, and they are bringing back Chandler Jones and Buda Baker. Both were Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, Buda Baker's super underrated too. He's been good for a couple years. Doesn't really ever get mentioned.
Okay, so they have the talent to win, right?
I think they do.
So this
at least a foundation for the future.
Yeah. So this rests on Kingsbury's shoulders. Sounds like.
I'd have to agree. Yeah.
He's going to make it or break it. Not that you expect a second-year guy to come out and be a Super Bowl contender. I don't want to be ridiculous about it. But 5 wins last year. I mean, if you're not hovering around 500, you're doing something wrong in this league. Or obviously you played with injuries or some other things. But I think he's got to at least be hovering around 500 for us to think he's got a legitimate shot of lasting in this league.
Yeah, no doubt.
Unfortunately, I got him for 5 wins.
I got him on 3.
I got him going 8-8.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
That's pretty solid.
You're giving Oak Cliff a vote of confidence, huh, Jeff?
Well, that roster, they're a really good team.
That pickup Hopkins was huge.
Yeah.
Good old Bob making that deal.
Yeah, I hope Bob gets a Christmas card from Cliff every year.